Mario's working his ass off in his own pizza shop, feeling desperate as hell until he decides to take the day off. Luigi understands his struggle from experience with his flower shop, saying running a business is no easy feat. Unfortunately, he has hands over the chef's hat to his bro and runs away in the middle of a lunch rush. As Mario naps, falls on the meat hum and witnesses Luigi's catastrophe, immediately thinking it's Mario related. He wakes him up to get back to the shop, but refuses to go back to work. So he brings 3 for therapy, immediately diagnoses Mario's commitment issues in the workforce despite being rejected. An autograph for 1.5 Tenacious D. Maggie introduces herself for hearing the whole thing and wanting to offer her own advice. But 4 knows the guy isn't very open to change. She pulls out the big gun to inflict motivation onto Mario by turning into Shia LaBeouf. Leaving the Guardians in disgust, Bob and Bookins arrive to help by taking him to a spa. Even though Mario is always resting as cleaned by Maggie, they head over the spot anyway to her dismay. Bob interrupts his massage to put him in a closed tub in order to meditate. Left behind, he wants out, but after a while he starts doing just that. In his visions, it appears that Mario is mentally disturbed until the picture changes to a sprite of him using a double cherry. Possibly in a narcissistic way, he realizes that he himself can provide his own comfort. Mario runs back to the shop just as the customers are about to annihilate Luigi, because it's the only pizza place operating in Mushroom Kingdom. To save his skin, he draws a cardboard cutout of his original character, Marty, to whom the characters find attractive and buy all the pizzas. Paisano tells his bro realizing a reflection of yourself, ergo and OC, is a way to cope with stress and decides to make one for him, with less effort. Walking away, they have yet to know his creation are potentially more that meets the eye. 8 out of 10. Mario's stubborn nature is yet again shown on display, but more explained this time, and now is probably taking steps to make it mitigate it, maybe? This is your typical shenanigan video where Mario complains about enjoyment, but learns a way to deal with it. It is entertaining since there's a lot of interaction between Chuck and the Big Cats and the callback to SMG4's therapist days. But the overall execution at the end felt weird. The solution being drawn, your characters for comfort from the harsh reality of earning that almighty dollar might be a good message for any up-and-coming artists. But unless you're a main character in neat detail, journeying the results will vary. Anyway, the pacing is slow, having each segment helping Mario go a little long and a certain folks' surprise. Maggie's was the least necessary. That's about it. On to the next. Wario and Mario wake up in a cubic room with no way out. 4 bangs the floor until the lights go out, triggering a mysterious voice saying Game 1 and 4. A Mario Party block appears, and their goal is to roll a toad. After a few attempts, they win the round, triggering the next game. Now they have to pull the right lever to prevent the Bowser head from exploding. They're both too cowardly to do this one, even after a coin flip, so the machine does their job by game ending itself, giving them a pass. Next game is following Shy Guy's flags, which progressively gets more ridiculous, so Mario just blasts the control freak. The finale is SMG4 grabbing all the items, including Mario's big old behind, with brute force. Sort of. They completed the task, but the cube pulls a fast one by spawning a Rubik's Cube, forcing them to solve it in 20 seconds. They panic and accept their fate, but when the timer reaches 0, it opens, revealing cheery crowd with Miyamoto in front and center. It turns out they were testing a VR Mario Party game inside of a GameCube the whole time, making the duo scream their lungs out. Sadly, he has yet to know VR, especially on Switch. It's practically dying out. 8 out of 10, a faithful parody of the 1997 horror movie, but the jokes are stuck in the backseat. Directly parodying these kinds of flicks was something I thought the guys would never do, but here we are, and I gotta say they really nailed the setting here. The meme duo are great in this episode, saving the lackluster pace and reduced humor. The ending I really don't mind, I think it's clever to have Miyamoto pulling the strings considering the video's title, though it doesn't justify his motives being out of whack, unless Mario was too stubborn to work on the game. It's a bit unusual to have the Mario Bros. Father he portrays obviously sadistic, but again, it's not hard to imagine why they do so. Moving on. Before the episode starts, 4 makes a small announcement regarding the cast's appearances. They've been leaving out Tari from this trend and finally addressed that. Good lord, her new design is amazing. In the new video, Mari and Tari arrive at Miggy's to pick her up for a graduation day ceremony, who's ecstatic for it. The trio ride a totally registered car, which Mari was supposedly given to. On the road, Miggy keeps hearing noises, suspecting her paisano is behind it. But he dismisses the ordeal. Then a flashback is showing up Bob stealing the car from the mob, explaining the vehicle isn't Mario's. The noise grows louder to the point she orders him to stop the car and check the trunk, revealing a Pianta gangster held hostage and immediately looking while frightening Tari. Before they could keep going, Tari sees a cat stuck in a tree, begging her friends to get it down, which Mario does in his typical manner. Maggie tries to restart the car, only to find out that Piana's slipped the gas and gets away with it. Due to Tari's hesitance, now they had to push the thing to the gas station while making sure Mario doesn't take another ride. They arrive at the place and shortly after Mario and Maggie go inside, the Piana gang steal the car back as Tari was filling it up with gas. She's crippling defeat from the encounter, encouraging Mario to channel in his inner Nico Bellic and get revenge on the offenders. He successfully gets back the car, being in a condition. But it doesn't matter to Maggie as they finally head to the ceremony at Ominia. Maggie thanks her friends for aiding her joining in the memories they have throughout the whole time they've been together. She also accepts Tari as her first official student, and Mario takes them to celebrate at Grove Street. 9 out of 10, a solid fun episode with a surprising and welcome upgrade. That's all you need to know. It was a bold move to have a reveal be more casual than previous redesigns for a change. I love Maggie and Tari's bonding development here, since the former finally achieved her dreams and is passing the torch to her colleague. Mario overall is fine, since he's the fall guy and the one who solved their problem thanks to a brief rampage that fills the title's quota. Although they could have just taken a car and wait out the one level to make things easier. Just like GTA being more a crime game, at least before this, SMG4 as of now has become more than a comedy. Something it's taken several years for certain people to accept. Once again, the gang are taking a lead guitar in their joyride of life, so buckle up, as an Eastern European once said, things will be different. We start off with an homage to the Mike Judge classic, and Mario is bored that the castle isn't being built, or still needs the funding, so he's attempting to sell flummies by showcasing them at the museum. So he decided to use the money from his pizza place that's now run by Mari, and the castle is finally under construction. Meanwhile, Maggie is panicking about her lost beanie, the same one her idol gave it to her as a child. Tari suggests she could ask the others if they've seen it. Back at the site, 4 asks the game where they should go for vacation with the leftover cash. They end up arguing as Maggie arrives for help, but they find their answer when Luigi dropped his phone. They notice the gang English have stolen the beanie and are at the museum 4 was talking about. They catch up with the sneaky bastards and Maggie confronts the leader, wanting to know why they did it. Tari stops her, letting the squid kid run up, and their shocked Ren statue has been vandalized. Janitor Cuttlefish tells them that his career went down the drain in the last 15 years. Either because his skills got weaker over time, or more likely,
we're assholes!
And as a result, he's given up cleaning the thing. Maggie decides to search his whereabouts and remembers that the address is in the beanie. The two headed to Ren's home, discovering it's been abandoned. They go inside, checking if it's still there, and stumble upon a TV playing commercial for a Wild West tourist attraction, where Ren seemingly found a new job as a performer, and immediately shuts off. Maggie realizes that's where they should go, and they could give Tari pointers, but she's suspicious about the hat the ad was presented. The others are at the train station heading to PB Island, but Maggie and Tari show up in the nick of time, taking it to the west instead, much to Floor's dismay. But they soon find out they're being lured into a trap. 7 out of 10. A good build-up for the next storyline, leaving some questions to be answered. This is a pretty decent episode, but honestly the pacing clashes with its tones due to the runtime. It's pretty normal for someone to lose their crap over missing a valuable item that means a lot to them personally, and it's not the same thing as regressing to a child. Judging by the appearance of the TV, it may be well related to one feature and it's gotta be perfect. Also, regarding Siren's inclusion, the story's theme will be about the dangers of idolizing your heroes, making it go great with recent YouTuber news. The characters are good, especially Megan and Tari, and the humor and drama strike a nice balance regardless of the pacing. We're in for a ride this broiling season, I tell you what. Hope you guys, both new and returning, enjoy my rambling nonsense, because the next review is going to take some time to prepare if you're aware of the show's recent developments. Stay cool and safe this summer, and as always, peace out.
Yep.